everyone, welcome back to the best part of my week series where I share with you my favorite things to teach and my students' favorite things to learn. If you're new here, hi, my name is Miss Jayna. I teach kindergarten to grade 5 music. I teach kindergarten, grade 1-2 classes, 3-4 classes, and 4-5 classes. And in this series, I share with you my favorite things to teach and my students' favorite things to learn. So let's pop right on into it with grade 5. So in grade 5 this week, we are working on the music K-8 arrangement of Bucket to Bones. It's in the newest, like the fall K-8 volume from this year. And it's designed for bucket drums, shakers, rhythm sticks, and then bones. The rhythms in this are pretty easy for my 4s and 5s. I could have done it with my 3-4s, but my 4s and 5s, it's easier to hook them with instruments. So that's why I chose to do them with them. It goes in like an ABA form. You can take a listen to it. I'll leave a link down below of the volume, and in there you have a preview of it. My kids have really enjoyed learning to play it. It's been great to develop some maintaining of individual parts. Because there's those 3 different parts going, it's been a good way to reinforce and review a drumming technique that we have done previously, and also introduce some new instruments with the shakers. I'm using a kabasa and an African shaker in there to just make it a little bit more exciting for them. The students are really enjoying learning this. And after, what we're going to do with this is after we learn this and finish learning it, revise it and everything, I'm going to put the students into groups of the same instrumentation, so drum, shaker, and rhythm sticks, and then they're going to come up with their own. I haven't told them that they're doing this yet, but I thought it was a great extension to add onto it because it's a great way to get them creating and using the instruments that they are already familiar with. So that was grades 4 and 5 this week. Bucket of Bones from Music K-8, and once again, check for a link below for the volume that it's in so you can take a listen to it as well. All right, moving on down, we are going in next to grade 3 and 4. Now, in 3 and 4 this week, well, not this week, but before, we had recently talked about and introduced 16th notes, and I used the song Chicken on the Fence Post to introduce 16th notes. And now we are putting our 16th note knowledge into practice by doing composition. So in my TPT store, I have a whole bunch of composition products. And the one that I chose to do with my 3-4s was the fall composition. There's also a Halloween one, which would be good for this time of year, but I just went with fall. And what the kids do with that is they each get a composition sheet that looks like this. And then I print out all of the composition cards that they then cut out, and they arrange however they want. And they're all with fall words. So like this student had bag of leaves, leaf pile, jumping in leaves, pumpkin, rake, carving pumpkin, hay bale, pulling wagon. And all of them, I don't know if you can see that, are to-be compositions. I'll leave the link to my TPT product down below, and with the product preview, I have a preview video, which is great because then you can see exactly what's in the product, which includes all of this. So what I had them do on the first day is we reviewed 16th notes, and then I said, okay, we're going to do something fun. You're going to make your own song. And some of the kids were super like, what? That's my dog. I'm doing what? And I said, oh, but it's super easy because I give you all the rhythms and you just need to arrange them. So if you were doing this with your kids, depending on what you're working on, would likely depend on what rhythms you would give them. I gave my students all of the rhythms in the package, and how I did it is I had them cut out and then they just chose which ones they wanted to glue on, and then they glued them on in whatever order they wanted. What we're going to do with this next is the students are going to practice clapping it, and then we're going to put it on drums. Sometimes when I've done this activity in the past, I've given them the choice of what instrument to use, but this time I just want it all to be easy and simple, and they all like to do drums, so we're just going to do it on drums. And I'm using this as a rhythm assessment and a performance assessment, and I find it easier to hear if they're playing the correct rhythm on a drum than if they're playing it like on a vibroslap or something. So that's why we are using drums for this. So last class we just did this much of it. There's for you to see. So moving forward, we will practice it with clapping first, and then they'll perform it on drums. I have a Bravo board coming up in my classroom, so I will be putting some of them on there for other students to see, and then I will also be giving students the opportunity, they have to play it for me, but I'm also going to give them the opportunity of whether they would like me to ask like our principal to come in, or if they would like to take a drum up and play it for the classroom teacher, and all that kind of stuff. I tell the kids not to worry. Some of them are getting caught up on like the words, like, oh, this doesn't make sense, like bag of leaves, leaf pile, jumping in leaves, pumpkin, rake, carving pumpkins, hay, bale, pulling wagon. They were getting caught up in like, but it doesn't rhyme, it's not a song. And I said, we're not worrying about the words as much as we're worrying about the rhythms, and the words are just helping us figure out the rhythms and get rhythms in there. I also would recommend that if you're doing this with multiple classes, print each of their papers in different colors, which is what I do. I posted on my Instagram about it recently, about how each of my classes has a class color. So I have 3 classes doing this, and I'll know as soon as my one class comes in, oh, you're the red class, I'll grab the stack of red papers. I didn't print the cards in color because I use them with all of my classes. And then also if I have kids that finish early, I always just tell them to color the pictures because they like to color, and it's something just quick and easy that they can do while we're waiting for the people to finish. So fall composition, check the link below. And there is, make sure if you're interested in it that you check out that video preview, because there's lots of, it shows you exactly what's in the entire product. All right, now we are going on to grade 1 and 2 music. Now, what I chose for grade 1 and 2 music was definitely a student favorite, but was actually a student favorite throughout my entire school because I did it grade 1 to 5, I think. But I actually taught it in grade 1 and 2 because everyone else knew it already. And that is Pass the Pumpkin with this cute little pumpkin guy. He's a Jellycat stuffed animal, stuffed pumpkin, that I actually got from a local coffee shop uptown. But yeah, Jellycat stuffy. I'll see if I can find an Amazon link and put it down below. But my kids, well, he's adorable, but my kids would see it sitting on the piano. Are we playing Pass the Pumpkin today? And yes, we were. So my song for Pass the Pumpkin goes like this. Pass the pumpkin round the room, don't you let it drop. You don't want to have the pumpkin when the music stops. So I taught the students the song, and we talked about So and Me in it because we recently just named it in grade 1 and grade 2. And then we played the game. And the game, pretty much the rules for the game are in the song. So the students pass it around in a circle. If they drop the pumpkin, they are out. And if they have the pumpkin when we stop singing, they are out. Also, I added rules because sometimes you just need to. If you're throwing the pumpkin, you're out. And if you're making someone else drop the pumpkin, you are also out. Usually when I play games like this, if you're out, you're out. But I also had some students, especially in my 1s and 2s, and kind of throughout all of my classes, who needed some time to reinforce the beat. So once they were out, I had them go and grab an egg shaker and just keep the beat to the song. And I found 2 things with that. It was good, easy way to reinforce the beat. And it also provided me with the opportunity to review who's getting the beat, which I then learned that some of my kids who weren't able to keep the beat are now able to do it. So that was just good mental notes and actual notes to make about what was going on in my classroom. And it gave the kids something to do. They weren't just sitting there, so then there weren't behavior problems. So we started as a big circle, and then as kids went out, they went and sat on the outsiders of the circle, and we ended up being 2 circles. But yeah, they loved it. Again, I will leave a link if I can find one off of Amazon to this stuffed pumpkin, but he's pretty cute. All right, and then we go to kindergarten. And in kindergarten this week, I brought out the scarves. And first we did this scarves with the Bernstein's turkey trot. And the kids just moved around the room with their scarves. And then I told them it was a turkey. And then the scarves became feathers and everything like that. Just as a creative movement opportunity. When I do movement like that, I always start them at their spots. And then I say, okay, now you can go around the room. Just so that they can kind of settle in, because the scarves are exciting and moving around the room is exciting. So I took one of those components out. then what we did next is we did the Fall Leaves song from Denise Gagne. I think it's in the preschool one. I'm pretty sure. And it's in a minor key, and then we just moved our scarves up and down, and then we tossed the scarves, and we talked about leaves, and we talked about colors of leaves, and they're like, oh, you gave us all fall colored scarves. And I'm like, yes, I did. I thought about that, and I did it. And then we moved to the song Popcorn, and it goes like this. I don't have a scarf with me, that's okay. So you have your scarf and it's out in front, and you go, popcorn's popping, popcorn's popping, in a pot, in a pot. So then the kids would have their scarves in the pot, and then they go, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, till it pops. Till it pops, and then they throw their scarves up, and the scarves float down, and they think it is a grand old time. They love it, and then we do it. That's how I introduce getting faster and getting slower. And like, okay, should we pop our popcorn fast or slow? And we practice using that, and it's a nice segue into talking about fast and slow next. So that's what we did with them. It was a hit. Even my 1s and 2s still. So that's what I did in kindergarten. All right, so one little bonus thing for you this week, and that is some of my students got to the end of their piano behavior management thing, and when they get that, they get choice time. I don't call it free time, I call it choice time, because they get to make 3 choices. They get to choose 1 instrument activity, 1 song, and 1 game. So I take suggestions from each of the kids, and then I also say, oh, but there's something special. I also have a mystery. And then we vote about what they would like to do, and that's how they get their choice time. I try not to let my choice time take up more than 15 minutes of my class time, just because there's still other things that I want to do, but I also want to show the students that I value them having good behavior and all of that. So that's why I do give them that chunk of time, and I make it as a choice. So some of the things that they requested were like 1 green jelly bean, doggy doggy where's your bone, 7s, I have who has, lots of different stuff was requested in there. So I think I have a few classes yet to finish, but most of my classes got their free time at the end of this week. So I just thought I would share how I do that with you. They get I have 3 categories. They make suggestions, and then that's what we do. So thank you for tuning in for number 3 of the best part of my week. I hope that you found something useful to take back to your classrooms next week. As always, I would love, love, love to hear what the best part of your week is. And if you found this video helpful and useful and enjoyable to watch, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share so that you get notifications of my future videos, and so that other music educators can also see these videos and be able to watch them too. Until next time, see you later!